And when we whoop enough ass, everybody gonna get in line and do right. All right, peace and blessings, peace and blessings. Assalamu alaikum, shalom. Welcome, everyone. We are live. We are back with the book study, Fall of America, chapter 39 through 42, by the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And I am accompanied by my co-host, Sister Maya. Peace and blessings, Queen. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Hey, everybody. Happy Tuesday.
All right, all right. Okay. Anything you want to say before we get started?
Yeah, thanks for asking. So I had to go online and I looked at the date of the strike, of the Israeli strike against Iran. And according to the information that I pulled up, it says June 13th. June 13th was a Friday. And what I remember when I woke up to watch the news, and I found out that Israel, they were striking Iran. For some reason, I don't want to use the word surprised because I'm not surprised at anything these Europeans do, especially Israel. But it was something in my spirit that was grieved, and I was very concerned. Usually I don't think about what's going on over there. But with this particular strike, something is different about this one. Spiritually, it's grieving me internally. And I've just been watching the news to try to stay abreast of what's been going on. Now, I try to pre-read before we go live, just in case.
Right.
I come across a word I don't understand. I want to make sure I understand the meaning of the word. I may look up some information, but this time I kind of I skimmed and I scammed the information. I didn't do a thorough reading of all the chapters like I usually do. And as I was skimming and scanning, I saw that the chapters that we're going to be reading tonight, there's some information in there about Israel and Palestine. And I was like, okay, that kind of took me back because Israel struck Iran. I'm, skimming and scamming. I see there's some information in these chapters. But what really let me know that we are in serious times is Sunday. I was waiting. There's that sound again. So Sunday, I was waiting for you. I was waiting to see if you were going to go live. And when I didn't see you go live around 4:15, I took a nap. And so when I woke up, I saw that you were on live, but I was 20. You had already done 28 minutes before I joined, and you were talking about this same topic. And so for me, that was confirmation number 3. And so I did a little bit of reading today, and it was so crazy. I think I don't know if it's chapter 39 or chapter 40, but Elijah Muhammad, he literally talks about he talks about the war in the Middle East, and it's right there in our face. And so I said all that to say that's a very strong confirmation from the spiritual realm. Because that's how I function. I don't function in religion. I'm a very highly spiritual person, and I understand confirmation. And when it comes, you have to be still. You have to listen. You have to take heed, because this right here, I don't even know how to put it into words because I'm not political like you, but I definitely can say that something is brewing, and I think this is going to be very ugly. It's going to be ugly for somebody. And I'm really interested to hear what you have to say. And just by getting those confirmations, I began to look up some videos about Zionism and Israeli soldiers and living in a police state. I'm overwhelmed. I literally am overwhelmed. I don't even know what to say because I'm at a loss for words. We're not dealing with human beings.
No.
There's no possible way that these individuals, and I know you know who I'm talking about, they cannot be human beings.
Mm-hmm.
And my question to spirit is, when is this going to stop? When is this shit going to stop? Because those people over there are living in horror, worse than slavery. Not that I am, not that I'm not going to say I sympathize with the Palestinians, because they come into my community and they do not support Black people. They do not support Black people under any circumstances whatsoever. If we put a business in their community, they would not support it. And there are some Palestinians that I have spoken with, and I remember, and I told you this story. I went into a corner store and he had a newspaper, and I thought it was the what was it? What's the new
Call.
I thought it was the final call. And the Palestinian, the owner of the store, although he's very nice to me, he said those are not real Muslims. And that was it for me. So they do not support the Nation of Islam. They do not support Black business. I'm at a loss for words. So from just watching what's going on in the Middle East, it is it's like watching a horror film in real time. The things that they do and have done to the Palestinian people. And Iran is not the only country that they struck. Yemen. How about 9 countries, right?
Yeah.
Recently.
Yeah.
They've done this to 9 separate countries recently. It's like, who's going to stop these people? So yeah, we got to be careful. And I'm excited to get into these chapters to hear what you have to say. And I hope that some type of revelation comes to help prepare us for what may come ahead or what we need to do. Because I really do think that this is going to be a big one right here.
I do too. I really do. I see this as definitely evolving, because other countries now in Europe, they are arming up. They're telling their people, get ready because we're going to war. Germany is even getting their stuff together. And a lot of people think that East Germany and West Germany are cool, and they're really not. And there's so much political infighting going on in Germany. And so this war that's starting is going to spread. And once it spread to, you see them putting US soldiers over in Europe, it's over. It's a wrap. It is a wrap.
You say that again. When we see them putting United States soldiers in Europe, what do you mean by that? I don't understand.
That means we're done. America is done as a nation. America will not win that war. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said through the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan that America will send thousands to war, and they will come back in the tens. And when they come back, there will be no more American government. America is going to lose in this third world war. America is going to lose.
Okay. Let's get into it.
Yes, ma'am. Let me share my screen.
We are in chapter 39. We're going to go through 42. Chapter 39, the title is The House Doomed to Fall. We cannot deny the fact that the Christian West is responsible for this universal corruption in the land and sea. From the same corruption that their own hands have wrought will come their doom. The Christians preach that which they do not do and cannot do, such as love thy neighbor. I have as yet to meet one who loved his neighbor as he did himself. Thou shalt not kill. I have as yet to meet such a Christian. They even fight against each other, rob and kill each other, but yet represent themselves as world peacemakers. With whom? The great deceivers of the world will reap what they have sown. Have they not corrupted many people and nations under the guise of good, peaceful, loving Christians? The Christian West is full of the worst enemy. I'm sorry, the Christian West is full of the worst crimes, practicing evils and indecencies to the fullest and seeking to practice them on other nations as well. Universal tempters are ever parading before the world their bold half nude girls and women. They are before your eyes in almost everything: murder, gambling, robbery, drunkenness, drugs, adultery, lying. There is hardly any end to it. Their land and seas are filled with deadly weapons of war. Their islands of the sea are filled with corruption by all the nations of the earth. For they are proud and boastful, and are now hated and despised according to their wishes. Their religion, Christianity, is a curse to us, the black man, and is full of slavery teaching. They have poisoned the Bible with their adding to and taking from the truth. Now their doom is in sight. It's their own work. They commanded the sea with their powerful navies, parking them off the shores of other nations. They secure air bases on their soils to place their deadly bomb, carrying planes within easy striking distances of those whom they fear to be their enemies. Is this not the easy way to make enemies? Is this the act of a real Christian? The followers of Jesus, whom they preach, came for the peace of mankind and to teach the sheathing of the sword and the turning of the other cheek. Where is a good Christian among this race? They love meddling in other people's affairs. They are in every fight or war. It matters not with whom or where, but yet crying, peace, peace, with every deadly weapon of war to provoke other nations to war. Shall not the God of peace and justice deal with you and your troublemaking as he did with those before you? I warn every one of you, my people, fly to Allah with me for refuge. As I warned you, the judgment of this world has arrived. Get out of their slave making Christianity and into the right religion, Islam. The house you are in shall surely fall and never rise again. That's chapter 39.
That's very, very true. When America falls, she will never rise again. Period, point blank. Even when I know he talked about the crimes. There are crimes that are done in America that you don't find nowhere in any of the 55 countries in Africa. You don't find them. Now, I hadn't checked the Caribbean, but I haven't heard about any of it in the Caribbean. You hear about it in America and some other white countries. School shootings is one. You don't find that in other countries, but you do find that. You find that a lot here in America. And these things we have to look at and then really try to piece it together. Why is this happening? Why are white children taking weapons to school and killing everybody that's in there, and trying to kill everybody in there. But this is part of their nature. When they put on the news that we have to decrease from showing this stuff because violence grows. When other white children watch something violent, it makes them want to go out and be even more violent. They want to go out and top what they saw was done. And so this is a very dangerous situation that we find ourselves in, knowing how these people are and what they do. We definitely have to be able to completely come out of the way America thinks, come out of the way that these white folks think and behave, and be ye separate, because it is in our separating from them our safety. As the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, flee to Allah, flee to your own, accept your own, and be yourself. There's no more good times in America. There's no more good times whatsoever. And I rest.
So let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Based upon information that I've researched and read, and I've sat under master teachers in their lectures and I've read their books. When our people came out of slavery, the large majority of us were not Christians. Would you agree or disagree?
I would agree that the majority was not.
Yeah, the large majority of us, we were not Christians. We accepted that religion in mass post slavery. But
Mm-hmm.
thinking about the rise of the Ku Klux Klan, thinking about the rise of Jim Crow and segregation and redlining and lynching, the disenfranchisement, everything that we went through, I don't understand, especially in Elijah Muhammad's time, with the creation, with the development of the Nation of Islam. I don't understand why so many Black people would not gravitate towards the movement to get safe, to be protected,
Mm-hmm.
because it's strength in numbers.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
What do you think was the biggest fear that Christians had to make them hold on to that religion, thinking that Jesus was going to come and make a difference and save them and get them out of the terror and the horror that white society, placed them in?
Mm-hmm.
Yet to wake up another day and another Black man is killed. Wake up another day, a Black woman is gang raped. Literally, those white men were gang assaulting Black women. What do you think the biggest fear for Christians was to make them not want to break off the shackles of Christianity and join the Nation of Islam?
Well, one, when you think about the Nation of Islam, you think about structure, you think about rules, you think about discipline. And when you think about Christianity, anything goes, because Jesus is going to forgive you. So there's no work in it. And there's a big thing called heaven that our people got sold on. And if they understood that heaven is not real, then that's going to be a big negative, because all their lives they were taught, because you suffered here on earth, you went through the suffering, it gives you a place in heaven. So even though, these people are being evil to you and not being right to you, but your suffering is redemptive. So when you die, they're going to heaven. You're going to heaven and they're going to hell. That's where they're going to be punished. So we don't leave Jesus. We don't leave Christianity because we're going to heaven to be with him. They bought into that lie that they're going to go to a heaven. This is why the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that Christianity is the perfect slave-making religion, where you are taught, and they show you with different parts of the Bible, that suffering is redemptive. The more you suffer, the more you get closer to Jesus. The closer you are to Jesus, the more guaranteed you are to go to heaven. So that's why in slavery times, there's one of the slave songs said, everybody talking about heaven, heaven, everybody talking about heaven, everybody talking about heaven, but you ain't going to heaven. Meaning, yeah, y'all white folks, y'all talking about heaven, but the way y'all treat us, y'all not going to heaven. We're going to heaven, but y'all not going to heaven. So this belief that through your suffering, you're going to heaven is a very strong belief. And it has been like synthesized in our DNA. So then when you come into the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and you find out heaven and hell is a condition. It's a condition that you have right here on earth. So if you want heaven here, then there's things that you got to change about yourself, or you're going to stay in a hell of a condition. And so when you're used to just being and doing anything you want, now you coming into an ordered society that is governed by rules and regulations. And if you fail to meet those rules and regulations, there will be a discipline imposed upon you. And unfortunately, most Black people don't want that discipline, don't want that type of structured life. You notice that there's a lot of people that would holler Malcolm X or Dr. Khaled's name, but they don't live that life that Malcolm X lived or Dr. Khaled lived. They live that life of Christianity and doing anything that you feel you need or you want to do. So being here in America has made us lazy. It has made us comfortable. We are the most comfortable, oppressed people on the planet.
Wow. Damn.
Exactly.
Can you repeat that, please?
Yes. We are the most comfortable, oppressed people on the planet. And when you're in that comfort, as they call it, the comfort zone, you don't want to move. You don't want to do nothing. Because you cool right where you at. Ain't nobody making no demand on you. You cool. So they're going to ride that coolness straight to their death, unfortunately.
That was major. That's definitely something to think about. Mm-hmm. We are still an oppressed people, but we're comfortable in that oppression. Mm-hmm. For me, I was a Bible thumper. I took Christianity seriously when I became an adult, and I knew I had to change my life in order for to elevate and do better and grow. Mm-hmm. When I took my vow to follow Christ, I took it very seriously. I was devout. I was a thumper. I read the Bible several times, at least 5 times front back without missing a page. And a lot of people, they just go to the chapter and the verse on Sunday, but I would say 97% of Christians never read the Bible from front to back, page to page. And I did it 5 times just because I wanted to own what I believed. I didn't want anybody to come up to me and ask me a question about Christianity and I didn't have an answer. But what I didn't know is that I was on a journey of learning the truth. And what kept me in fear of, because there were so many things I could have done, so many places I could have gone, relationships I could have enjoyed. My life, when I think about what Christianity did to me, I lost the large majority of my life. And what prevented me from separating myself from Christianity was the fact that I was in fear of going to hell. To me, hell was a real place, and you could not tell me any different. And when you go to these holiness churches and you see videos, and there are some books, and people have videos talking about their dreams and stuff like that, and they talk about hell. To me, hell was a real place of suffering. And to not accept Jesus as my Lord and Savior, being a Christian, I knew that hell, that is where I was destined to go, and I did not want to go. So much of my life, I never got to enjoy simple things, little simple things I was deprived of because I was a devout and a devoted Christian. And I am so glad that I have a spirit of investigation. And I just began to read, and I kept reading and reading. And when I would read the Bible, I would have an encyclopedia and a dictionary and my computer, and I would investigate. And a lot of that stuff in there simply did not add up. And I remember I told myself, I said, even if you don't agree, continue to research. Even if this goes against everything that you've been taught, continue to research and do not stop. Just be objective. That is what I told myself. I said, be objective, meaning if it goes against what you've been taught, but it's true, accept it. Accept the truth. And that's the only thing that saved my life, was accepting the truth. And when I let Christianity go, I told you, I felt 500 pounds lighter. I didn't know that I was so burdened down. I remember going to work. I literally remember going to work saying, damn, I feel light. I felt like it was like weight. Hundreds of pounds of weight had been lifted from my. I had no clue that I was so burdened down with religion. And I've never been afraid. I've never been afraid. Ever since I denounced Christianity, I have no fear. People try to instill fear in me. You can't. It's not gonna work. Truth just dispelled all the lies. And it freed me from the shackles of religion, all of them. And so when I was reading chapter 39, it's not just Christians who, what did we just read? He said, Elijah Muhammad said, where's the paragraph? He said, murder, gambling, robbery, drunkenness, drugs, adultery, lying. You got Muslims do this shit too. You any religion that you name, I don't give a damn if it's somebody who is atheist. This is humanity today. Murderers. People just don't give a fuck about life anymore. I just told somebody the other day, I said we are all divine expressions of the all. And if you are God and I am God, God is in me and God is in you, the reason why I respect you and I'm kind to you is because the God in you. And if you see God in me, you should respect me the way you respect God.
Right.
Be honest with me the same way you be honest with God.
Right.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
People know that stealing is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Getting drunk and high, cheating
Mm-hmm.
on your damn wife,
Mm-hmm.
telling lies. That's humanity. So, that's what I thought of when I read paragraph 7. I was like, it's not just Christians, that shit everybody.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of us have literally lost our way. Literally, we lost our way.
Mm-hmm.
And we're in a very desperate situation in this country. Not this country, but in this world.
Mm-hmm.
People got to get it together and see the God in each other. So that way I will respect you and not lie to you and be kind to you and help you within reason if I see the God in you. And we don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wanted to say that.
You know, in reality, what you're saying is definitely not wrong, but it shows the lack of humanity, because we don't feel for one another as we should. And living in a world like this, it takes away your natural inclination to do right. And here I'm speaking about Black people here,
Mm-hmm.
because we have a natural inclination to do right. But even though we are taught and brought up in a system that actually embraces and rewards the wrongdoers. And I believe once that part is understood by our people, then we come to the fork in the road, because there'll be little things that come and compound things. Like, I remember my cousin Will. He's passed on now. He's dead and gone. But when we were little, and we was going to the store, and this dude was getting out of his car, and he dropped his wallet. And we all saw the wallet drop, but ain't nobody opened their mouth to say anything. Will bent down, picked the wallet up, opened the wallet, saw all the money in there, and we all looking too. And then Will was like, hey sir, you dropped your wallet, you dropped your wallet. And so he ran to give him the wallet, and the man was like, oh, thank you, young man. And then, reached in the wallet to give Will some money. I think it was probably like $20. But Will was like, no, thank you, no, thank you. And, came back to the rest of us. And we looking at this nigga like, what the fuck wrong with you? That was our candy money. What you talking about? We'd have had money for months. You just gave the money back, And we were all, angry and upset. And then it was like, damn, and you couldn't even take the reward money. We could have had some candy off of at least the reward money. And, we were jumping on him for doing the right thing. And the message is, what's wrong with you? Why are you doing the right thing when you should have been doing the wrong thing? And it's like there'll be times when I'm at work and something don't go right, or we find a patient trying to scam the system and get extra meds and all this stuff, and then it comes out, and I always say, that's the American way. Mm-hmm. That's the American way. To rob, to steal, to lie, to cheat. That's the American way. To get over, to take from somebody else what don't belong to you. That's the American way. And we've been brought up in that system. And this is why we as a people definitely need some type of counseling, because our minds are created to think right. But it seems like damn near 24 or 23 hours of the day, we're programmed to think wrong. And so in that, dealing with that dichotomy, there produces a problem. There produces people that stuck in the middle of the road, not sure which way they want to go. Do they want to go right or do they want to go left? They want to do the right thing or they want to do the wrong thing. But you know, it's said you should be doing the right thing. But yet we fall victim to doing the wrong thing because the wrong thing is so easy to do. Doing the wrong thing is so easy to do. It's hard in these days to be a man or a woman that's built on principle.
Mm-hmm.
It's damn hard.
It's a lonely road too.
It is. It really is.
I'm telling you.
And people don't really understand that, but it is. It's lonely. It's hard because you find yourself multiple times on the outside and everybody looking at you like, see, we can't even have a good time because this motherfucker over here fucking it up for everybody. This one over here trying to do this. This one over here trying, Mr. Goody Shoes, Mr. Goody Shoes, because they're conditioned.
Mm-hmm.
They've been programmed to do everything wrong and to love it. And to love it. And that is part of our issue, you know, as a people. That's a really big part of our issue. It's like we gravitate to doing the wrong thing when we should be running from doing the wrong thing and embracing that which is right, that which is true, and that which is real.
You know, I really have to write that in my notes because that's very powerful what you said. People that we love, you said loving what is wrong and being comfortable in our oppression.
Mm-hmm.
That's very powerful. And it's very true.
Mm-hmm.
People have fun thinking that it's so fun.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's so hip. It's the it thing.
Exactly.
And they don't understand that's oppression.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I get it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I get it all the time, especially on my job. And I'm like, why don't you want to do it with us? I said, because I'm not a follower.
Exactly.
I know you saw that on social media and you wanna do it too, but that's just not me. I'm not a follower. I'm sorry, I cannot involve myself with that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's chapter 39, and we're gonna move on to chapter 40. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you. So the destruction and fall. The destruction and fall of the world that we have known is now without a doubt in process. Damn, he said it's in process.
Mm-hmm.
This chapter here, chapter 40, when we get into this,
Mm-hmm.
this is, and I say, even when I heard you come online Sunday, I say Maurice don't even know he prophesying right now. When I heard your title, literally when I jumped in 28 minutes late, and you were talking about Israel and Palestine, I say, oh, he don't even know he is prophesying right now, because that is what we are about to get into. Watch this. The destruction and fall of the world that we have known is now, without a doubt, in process. When we refer to the world, we are referring to the world of the white man, for the world of the black man has yet to come in. The world of the black man, by divine guidance, is now merging in on the old world of the white race. This makes the destruction and fall of the world of the world of the white man imminent. Let me read that again. This makes the destruction and fall of the world of the white man imminent, meaning close, at hand, and near. Here in America, we can see nothing but the fall of America. It's no secret. It is obvious to the eyes that are open. If we want to close our eyes and minds and claim that we do not see and understand, then we will be falling ourselves. This refusal to this refusal to see is foolhardy, for regardless to how we may desire to see the old world stand, we do not have the power to stave off the destruction that causes the world of the white man to fall. The destruction and power that is bringing about the fall of the world of the white man is coming from Allah. In the past history of the world of the white man, there never was a time of destruction of his world like the present time. It is useless for you to try to prevent the fall of the white man's world. Elijah Muhammad said it's useless.
Mm-hmm.
You can't prevent it.
Nope.
There is no checking it. There is no checking it. The white race has not tried to do the right thing. Justice. The doing of justice would have checked her fall. That's in the Bible in Jeremiah. But America was never willing. And even at this hour, she is not willing to do justice by those whom she has mistreated. She has dealt injustice to her black once slave for the nearly 500 years that she has been in the Western Hemisphere. America has constantly burdened the poor black slave with every evil that she could imagine. Her evil scientists who have invented more and more evil practices have not been able to invent any more evil than that which they have already put out. Day and night without a let up, the white man mistreats the poor black man. Now, since heaven and the God of peace, justice, freedom, and equality has come to the black slave, the white man is trying to make everyone that recognizes the truth deviate from it. The white man says, don't accept it. He makes the black man a hypocrite against his own salvation. The white man trails the ones who have not yet, the white man trails the ones who have not as yet accepted the truth of their salvation, and he promises them that which he will never be able to fulfill. America is falling. She is now losing the power and authority that she was enjoying in foreign lands. Her fall is very visible. Wherever her authority has been exercised, the people are now crying out in one voice, leave us, leave us. Americans, go home to America. The citizens of other countries are telling the American citizens, leave us. America no longer has friends. America and England deposited their little brother Israel on foreign soil. Palestine, which is Arab land. They deprived the Arabs of their own land and sent them into exile. This injustice against the Arabs is now costing America the power and authority that she once exercised in the East. And she is on her way out of the Near East. And this means bloodshed and plenty of it. You can't make this shit up.
Nope.
Maurice, you can't make this shit up. We've been doing this study for over a month now. We have not touched on Israel or Palestine. We ain't touch on that shit in 39, 40 chapters. And all of a sudden, when Israel go to strike Iran on June 13th, during the same goddamn week, here we go. Paragraph 11. They deprived the Arabs of their own land and sent them into exile. This injustice against the Arabs is now costing America the power and authority that she once exercised in the East. She on her way out. Elijah Muhammad say this means bloodshed and plenty of it. In the Near East, there stands navies which are neither American nor British. They are there to drive America out. Oh, touch on that when we finish that, please. Please touch on that.
Okay.
Are they still there, you think, those navies? And who are they? He said, in the Near East, there stand navies which are neither American nor British, and they are there to drive America out. Let me see. The skies over there are beginning to thicken with foreign planes carrying deadly weapons, guns, and bombs. They will not be satisfied as long as Israel is in Palestine. The boil has come to a bursting point. We are in a troubled world. We are in a world that is now erupting. You think he means Germany and China, or members of BRICS, or what?
I believe that definitely pulls in the BRICS. Of course, America and British will back Israel, and Iran will be backed by China and Russia. So this thing is definitely a big thing to watch, because we're living this in real time. And as I said, that they are there to drive America out. And I believe that exactly is what's going to happen. They're not going to win. As we see now, Israel is losing this fight with the bombs. And the only way that you're really going to put an end to this is that you have to put troops on the ground. They would have to invade in Iran. And that will be a very, very difficult thing to get done. And
why?
Because there is so much American hatred there. When you're dealing with the governments is one thing, and the people is something totally different. And the people, they don't like America. They damn sure don't like Israel. And so they see you bombing Iran after Iran have been very nice and did, bend over backwards for your ass. And you still talking that shit, and you throwing all these bombs on them, and you're killing even their scientists. You're killing their people because they possess knowledge. Because they possess knowledge. They don't want you to have the knowledge of how to make a nuclear weapon, but you can have it. And so it's just like Pakistan. Pakistan jumped in it and said that they'll bomb Israel. They'll hit Israel with a nuclear weapon.
That's what Pakistan said.
What Pakistan said.
Let me ask you a question. Has Iran been aggressive towards the United States? And if so, when?
No, Iran has not been aggressive toward the United States. Now, when Iran threw out the Shah and they overthrew that government, and at that point they did take the American embassy and the people in it hostage, and I think they held them for like 177 days or something like that. But they didn't mistreat them. They didn't beat them. They fed them. They took care of them. They even let the women and the black people, they let them go, and kept the white folks,
Wow.
Yeah, they did. And
they know who the enemy is. They know.
Exactly.
We all know who the enemy is.
Yeah. And so understanding and knowing what the real deal is, they can't wait. They want America and British and the damn the Israeli army to come on their land, and it will be a hell of a fight. I'll tell you that it would be a hell of a fight, and I don't see them being able to walk out of there with their heads up high, saying that they won. America barely, and very truthfully, barely got out of Iraq with their head on their shoulders. If it came to man-to-man, hand-to-hand combat, America would have lost. If America's Air Force didn't rule the skies, they would have got their ass whooped more than they did in Iraq. because them Iraqis, even though some of them didn't agree with Saddam Hussein, but they damn sure don't like you.
Mm-hmm.
And they see what you have done to them with these sanctions for all these years. They ain't dumb. So when you came in with that foolishness, then they had something to answer for. And so they did what they had to do. And if it was not for the United States Air Force, no, they would have got eaten alive in Iraq. They would have got eaten alive.
So my question is this, because based on information that I came across, this is just one of the reasons why the United States backs Israel, is because they want to have they want to have a foothold in the Middle East, and
Mm-hmm.
Israel is that foothold for them.
Mm-hmm.
But my question to you is, why does the United States ally with Israel? What is it about Israel that they got us in a chokehold?
Because the Israeli lobby pay these American elected officials big time money to be a voice for Israel.
Mm.
And so instead of these elected officials being a voice for their own constituents, they are a voice for Israel. And it's very interesting that even MAGA Republicans came out and said, we don't want no war. We don't want to go in war against Iran for Israel. We America first. We care about America. We're not trying to have that, And then the Israeli lobby made some noise, and then those Republicans was apologizing and saying, well, we want to pray for Israel and all this. I mean, even Trump, when he came out talking about having to send Americans into war, it's not something that he wants to do, but he done took all that money and talked all that shit. Now he ain't got no choice, because he don't have the strength now to say, fuck you, I ain't gonna do it. Because he know what that means. That means if you tell them this time, fuck you, I ain't gonna do it, they really gonna put a bullet in your ass and you ain't gonna be able to live no more.
So you're telling me that there's an Israeli lobby, which is what a group of people who try to persuade, explain the Israeli lobby because what the hell is that?
So the Israeli lobby they're lobbyists who go to the American electorate and partition them on the behalf of Israel. So they'll say, hey, look, we'll donate $100,000, $200,000 to your campaign, or whatever cause you want it to go to, but we want you to be on the front line for Israel and always back Israel and what it needs and what it wants. Now, all of these that they go out and do that, they do exactly that. Now, you'll have the ones that don't do that, and then the Israeli lobby will go out and pick somebody that's going to run against you, and they will feed that campaign money to make that campaign successful, to replace you and put their puppet in there. And that was done against many Black politicians, because the Black people in office, the strong ones, they backed Palestine and they wanted fair treatment to Palestine. And so they wanted that. Now those are not in office any longer. They were removed.
Damn.
The Jewish lobby got them removed.
So they take money from them and to do what they want them to do. But if they renege and don't do it, you say they will actually assassinate these people?
Oh yeah, this is how JFK got taken out. If you go through the new release of documents, it was Mossad that was behind that, because he refused to give them nuclear weapons. He refused to give them nuclear weapons because they like, look here, we over here and we're surrounded by enemies. We need nuclear weapons. And JFK was like, no, you ain't getting it from us. We're not doing that. That's just not going to happen. That doesn't make sense. And so they tried and tried, and next thing you know, they was like, he ain't gonna do it. Okay, we're gonna get him out the way, and somebody else will do it. It's just same thing with Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton and Netanyahu was having issues, and he wouldn't get his way. So what did they do? They send old little Monica Lewinsky right on up there to Bill, saw what he wanted, knew what he wanted, and he fell for it hook, line, and sinker. Hook, line, and sinker.
Damn.
None of that shit would have happened if he would have did whatever them damn fake Jews wanted him to do. But because he stood up and said no, then they set his ass up, knew what he liked, knew what he looked for, and sent it right there to him.
So they just master con artists and manipulators.
Oh, yes.
So how do we identify them? Is there a way to find out who they are, to put a face to a name?
Yeah, all you got to do, once you know who the Israeli lobby, look up CPAC. Once you come up there and you see this, you know exactly, because they walk around in their names, or quote unquote fake Jew names. They walk around in that. And it's very interesting because I had a conversation today at work with a damn Jew, because he evidently saw my tag says Muhammad. And he's like, you see what's going on over there in Iran, right? Iran getting their behind whooped. And he's like, and now Iran is begging for America to stop the shooting. They want to come to the peace table. I said, well, I don't know nothing about that. I didn't see that. That's what I saw is Israel getting his ass whooped and Israel begging Europe and America to get into the war. I said, that's what I saw. That's what I saw. And, we're going back and forth a little bit. And, we started talking about local politics and, what should happen. And, I explained to him that, the fake Jews, that y'all not a race, because that's just not reality. You're not a real Jew. You're a fake Jew. You're Ashkenazi. You're pretenders. And, ran it down to him. And he said, you too smart for your own good.
Damn.
Yeah, that's what he told me. You too smart for your own good. I said, no, I'm not too smart for my own good. I'm smart enough to help my people, to teach my people the truth so they'll see the lies and the falsehood that you represent. And he's like, so you thinking about going into politics, huh? I said, you damn right, I will be. And he said, yeah, you too smart for your own good. Stuff happens to people like that. And I said,
oh, that's what he said?
Oh, yeah. I said,
that was a threat. That was a threat.
Exactly. It was. But I told you, ain't a damn thing gonna happen to me. Not a damn thing gonna happen to me, because your time is up. And he's upset and he's, red, but hey, look here, you started it. You started it. You thought that I was a chump that's just gonna fucking roll over because you talking your shit.
Right.
No, it ain't gonna work that way. You ain't gonna punk me. That's not happening. So yeah, I let that cracker know exactly what was the real deal. That I see you for who you are. And I'll teach my people exactly who you are. Because you are not the people of God. We are. Not you. We are. We are. And boy, he definitely didn't like that. But we have to be able to say the truth in this hour that we live in. Fuck them. That's how I look at it. Fuck them. It is
and it's not that they don't know that they're not the people of the book.
Exactly.
They think that you don't know.
Exactly.
And when you let them know what you know, that's when they back down. That's the last. We talked about that on the last study with one of my Jewish coworkers. She did not want to accept the fact that what I said was true. And see, we have to understand. I have now, from all the videos that I've been watching just today, because I've watched several videos, but today, especially with what's going on, I have no respect for any Jewish person in America. And I'm going to say that openly. I have no respect for you. Because one thing I know, you can leave America, go to Israel, and you will find the same and go grab a soldier and say, I want that house. That Palestinian house right there, that's the house I want. And they will go grab those people out, shoot them, kill them, sexually assault them, physically abuse them, urinate on them. And there's no repercussions for that at all. There was a Palestinian grandmother, 60 years old, walking down the street, and the Israeli soldier was having fun, and he just shot her. Literally just shot and killed her. A little Palestinian boy, he's at the market with his grandmother, and the Israeli soldier didn't like the shirt he had on, so he snatched the shirt off the little boy. The little boy was less than 10 years old. He snatches his shirt off, slapped the little boy upside the head twice, and the grandmother grabbed the little boy and tried to run his ass up out of there. This stuff, and you know, they say, okay, well, they say, well, go to this safe place, and then they bomb that place. Go to this another place, and then they bomb that other place. Okay, well, go 3 miles to the left by 2 stop signs, and you'll be safe there. And then they bomb that. I have no respect for these people. I have no respect, and the only thing I want to know, what is it going to take to stop this shit? Because what I really want to say, I'm not going to say online, but this shit got to stop.
Oh, yeah.
This shit got to stop. They have no regard for life. The things that they do to the Palestinian people, you can't put a label on that. And they do it with such ease. The children saying, kill all of them. Young Israeli children saying, kill all Palestinians. They don't have a right to live. One teenager, she said, because the journalist was asking about, but what about the children? What about the children? She said they kill their ass too. They're going to grow up and become adults. The only positive thing I could say about Israel is they have the attitude that we should have had a long motherfucking time ago.
Exactly.
That's the only good thing I could say about them. The attitude that they have, the stomp out motherfuckers that they don't like, we should have had. That's what the fuck we need. We need a dose of that shit.
Yeah.
Because they give no fucks. They don't care if you 100, 50, 10, or newborn. If you their enemy, they will gut your ass like a fish.
That's right.
And they teach their children to hate you the same fucking way.
Yep.
You can, if you are Jewish, you can go to Israel right now and kill and come back to America, and nothing happens to you.
Yep.
They go kill, they go assault women, men, and children, laugh about it, kick back some beer, have a little jig and dance, and cook a little food and celebrate, and just come on back to America like nothing happened. I've seen that shit, because my coworker was like, what you're saying is not true. I said, what the fuck is you talking about? I can show you the videos. How you gonna sit here and tell me what you don't know? Because she from Cuba. Don't fucking tell me nothing. I said, I could show you the fucking videos of this shit. This shit been go. Don't act like you don't know.
Exactly.
You just mad. You just twisted because you thought I didn't know. This shit gotta stop. This shit gotta stop what they doing. Because I always said they're showing us what they're gonna do to us.
Exactly.
Black people better understand. These Europeans are showing us what they're going to do to us. Because watch this. When they were thinking about a place to call home, Congo was on the radar.
That's right.
So what they're doing to the Palestinians, they would have been doing to the Congolese.
That's right. Yep.
They don't give a fuck.
Nope.
And do you know that based upon the information that I read, you cannot get a DNA test done in Israel.
That's true. That is true. It's
You
against
can't
the
even
law.
get a goddamn DNA test.
Exactly.
Because it's going to show your ass ain't got no ties to the fucking land.
Exactly.
Whatsoever.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yep.
These people are murderers.
Mm-hmm.
Maurice, they are murderers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Yep.
I had to stop watching the videos because they deserve. I don't want to say it online, but
They earned it. They earned what they getting.
They deserve everything that's coming to them. They fully fucking deserve it.
Exactly.
And America is wrong for this shit.
Mm-hmm.
America is wrong for getting involved in this bullshit. And what we're seeing proves why Iran needs a fucking nuclear weapon.
Exactly. Exactly.
We see they fucking need it.
Mm-hmm.
We need one too.
Exactly. Exactly.
So they just strike without warning. They don't give a fuck.
Nope.
Oh, you aggressive. Oh, well, we have a right to defend ourselves. Oh, you fucking aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, I'm aggressive because I say I have a right to defend myself.
Mm-hmm.
Now you want to strike me and bomb my shit? Man, them motherfucking soldiers over there making parodies and shit.
Mm-hmm.
They killing people, snatching them out their house, bombing the fucking house to the ground, and doing TikTok videos.
Exactly. Yep.
TikTok videos after you just slaughtered a goddamn baby.
Mm-hmm.
They run in water because the Palestinians have no water. So the goddamn Israelis making TikTok videos running water to show they have ample fucking water.
Mm-hmm.
That's not God.
Mm-hmm.
How the fuck can you be God's chosen people and live and have that type of behavior?
Exactly. Exactly. Mm-hmm.
I have no respect for them.
These bastards, they have a Samson option or the Samson protocol where if they feel they're about to lose, they're about to be annihilated, there will be no more Israel nation, then they have their nuclear weapons aimed at America and Europe. That if they're going down, they're going to bomb America and Europe. And now this would not be the first time that Israel has attacked America, because it killed up soldiers, sailors on the ship. I believe the ship was called the Liberty, and it blew them up. And they knew it was an American ship, and they were out there working on behalf of Israel, but Israel still blew them the fuck up and didn't even give a shit. And the weakness of the American electorate, Lyndon Johnson on fucking down, covered that shit up. So these bastards have a nerve to have in their protocol, if we about to go the fuck out, if we about to go down, we're gonna blow up Europe and we're gonna blow up America. All of these motherfuckers going down if we going down. These are these demons.
They are fucking demons. I have some videos back here in the background. Let me know. Let me hold. Let me just show you maybe this one. Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to.
You're not allowed to have a DNA.
Hold on. Let me go to or watch on YouTube. Okay. It's some bullshit right here. Powerful statement. Let me know when it's on the screen.
Is a
DNA test in Israel. There are Chinese Jews. I've met them. There are Vietnamese Jews. I've met them. They're not native to the land of Palestine. There are African Jews. They're not native to the land of Palestine either. There are Ashkenazi Jews who are entirely European in their DNA. That's why you're not allowed to have a DNA test in Israel, because it will reveal that virtually none of them are Semitic, virtually none of them have any ancestral connection to the land. I was viciously assaulted by a manager in the BBC who had recently converted to Judaism. It's fine. I love all religions. But you can't say I've now converted to Judaism and therefore I have a right to go to the land of Palestine and live in the house of someone whose ancestors have been living in it for thousands of years. Again, you're not allowed to have a DNA test in Israel.
Mm. 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 The nerve. The nerve. Ain't no way.
And you know, a lot of people, to my surprise, especially in Great Britain, are speaking out against what Israel is doing.
Oh, yeah. Mm.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
A lot of people in the British Parliament are completely against what is going on.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of white Hollywood celebrities are against what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Commentators, well-known, who have millions of subscribers, they are against it. So the worldview is turning.
Mm-hmm.
The worldview is definitely turning. And that I thought about today, and I want to ask you, why is it that United States military will go and attack a country at the command of their superiors without investigating if whether or not what they're doing is a good thing?
They don't have that. They don't have that right to do that. They don't have that authority to do that. They have to do exactly what they're told. That's you don't have the right in the military to say no. Like when I was in, and I told the CQ person no. Next thing you know, they gave me Article 15 because I didn't have the right to tell him no. In the military, you do what you are told. Now you're supposed to be able to, if they're having you do something like kill a whole lot of innocent people, you're supposed to be able to say, no, I'm not going to do it. But also, if this is a war environment and you say no, then that gives the commander the right to pull a bullet in your ass.
What?
Kill you on the spot.
If it's in the war, you mean if it actively engaged in war, you mean?
Yes, if we're actively engaged in war and he tells me to go do something and I say no, he has the right to pull a bullet in my head and will face no repercussions.
What?
Yes.
And why is that?
Because war rules are in effect. And there cannot be a person sitting back thinking, should I do this or should I not do this? No, when you're giving an order, you are to carry it out. Period, point blank. You are to carry it out. So they come out with shooting requirements, right? So they may be like, if you're on duty and you're traffic control and a car is coming up and you're telling it to halt and halt and halt and it's not stopping, then war rules say you can kill everybody in that car. Don't matter whether they had a gun, didn't have a gun, but they didn't listen to you. You have the right to kill each and every last one of them because they wouldn't stop when you told them to stop. Wartime rules are in effect, and that's the reality of it. That is the reality of it. There's a lot of things. When America went to war with Iraq the first time, and Clinton was coming into office, and there was a little squirm, dust up happened, and they were talking about sending soldiers back. Every black soldier in the 101st Finance Battalion in Fort Campbell, Kentucky, said, "Fuck that. Y'all load up them Humvees. I'm loading up my car. I'm getting the fuck out of here." Every black soldier was ready to roll. They didn't want to go back for that because the pressure is just fucking unreal, because you can be killed by your superior without an issue.
Damn.
Without a fucking issue. Trust and believe that. And my last time going, because for me as a Muslim, when we were in Somalia, and they are Muslims, so they would give out the call of prayer, and that meant it's time to pray. So I heard the call of prayer. I'm going to go pray.
Oh my gosh.
Now, during this prayer time, the Americans, they didn't charge them or try to shoot them because they were trying to recover because they were getting their ass tore up. It was up, the Pakistanis came in and saved the American soldiers because the Somalis was whooping America's ass. They beat the best America had to offer. They beat the 5th Group Special Forces. They beat the Delta Force. They beat the SEALs. They beat the Rangers. They beat the best that America had without a twinkling of an eye. They whooped that ass. And so my NCOIC, Sergeant Sanders, was like, "You're never coming on another mission with me." And I said, "That's fine, because I don't never want to come on a mission with you. Fuck that. This is my last hurrah. I'm not doing this shit no more."
Especially with Somalia, because they black, right?
Exactly. Yes.
See, God had to put you in that situation so you could see.
Exactly. So, those things. And for our unit where we were, and I was a squad leader, and we had this fresh lieutenant, and, he's saying to do things that you really shouldn't do. And I'm like, "Sir, we shouldn't do this because this will be the repercussion. And you got to think about the soldiers." And he's trying to tell me, "Don't you forget, war rules are in effect. So what he just said, you don't do what the fuck I say, I'm going to blow your ass away." And I said, "Yeah, I understand that. But guess what? As soon as you blow me away, they going to blow you away. My boys will kill you. Trust and believe that. So you can kill me today, but you're going to die the next second." And so that put a chill on his ass, because you have to be able to fight back. And the only weapon you got is to have more troops than they got. And at that point, there was nobody in my squad that would have put a bullet in my head. But if he put a bullet in me, they would have put a bullet in him.
So, okay. So Sandra said, "Damn, that's why they be so crazy coming back from war with PTSD."
Hell yeah.
So
yeah.
Why how come black soldiers don't come back being with their third eye activated, saying that they're fighting for white people, for white freedom and white liberation, white rights and white finances? Why don't our black people see that?
Because Christianity has such a root in their minds. See, it's like this, right? When we say the white man is the devil or the white man is Satan, in their minds, Satan or the devil is a spiritual aspect, and it's wrong to call all white people devils, regardless of what the behavior they display, because God forgive them because he died on the cross for them. And so that theology in their heads will not allow them to think and do right by what the standard of right is, because they're stuck with that in their minds. And this is why I taught before that we have to break the cross. We have to break the cross so that they can see the reality and stop being hoodwinked. Because for us to say the white man is the devil, we understand that, we roll with that. But for them, Jesus paid it all. So they ain't the devil. That's my Christian brother and Christian sister. They're going to heaven with us. Now that sickness is deep. That sickness is deep, and it runs rampant. And so where you have our people that go there and come back, and they'll find the illegal drugs, they'll get drunk and stay drunk because they never want to come back to reality. They don't want to have to meet that reality that they just lived through. They don't want to meet that. They don't want to deal with that. They want to act like it doesn't exist. So
you mean from the murders, from the people they killed?
Exactly, from the people that they killed, the stuff that they had to do, even stuff they didn't even want to do. But they had to go ahead and do it because they were given instructions.
Damn. Can you give an example?
Oh, yeah, like during Vietnam, I think it's called the Malay massacre, where they killed up all these innocent Vietnamese people. They weren't even fucking soldiers. But the cracker said, kill them all. And they had to kill them all. And they did. They killed every last woman, child, man, elderly. It didn't matter.
That's a goddamn shame.
They killed them.
That's a goddamn shame. And our brothers and sisters, you know, I just I went to a museum a few days ago. There were some Black girls who joined the military. This was during the Jim Crow era. I forgot, where's my book? I forgot their names, but they were Black females, college age. And they joined the military, and their job was to run mail. So what the lady told me, she said the soldiers were not getting their mail. You probably heard this story before. So they weren't getting their mail, and the mail was just backed up, stacked up, sitting there, not being delivered. And so what the United States military did, the government, they allowed some Black women to join the military, and their job was to deliver the mail. And so I asked my tour guide, I said, I know this is a crazy question. I say, but wasn't that dangerous? Just to see what she was going to say. She said, yeah, because they had to duck bullets and shit just to get the mail to the goddamn soldiers. It was delivering mail out there on the goddamn battlefield.
That's right. That's right.
What the fuck? You heard about that shit?
Yeah. Been there, seen that, done that. Most definitely.
Man, what kind of bullshit is to get mail to a motherfucker? I'll tell you, I'll burn that bitch down. Shoot me, goddamn, fuck you. You'll never hear from your mama.
Yeah,
I said, what?
That's real.
They got real pictures of Black female soldiers, quote unquote, who were ducking and dodging bullets and shit out on the battlefield to make sure the goddamn soldiers got their mail. We some of the most dumbest. What kind of shit is that? Yeah. Because
the white boys couldn't figure out how to do it. They had all of this mail from family members going to soldiers, but they didn't know how to get it to them. They didn't know how to separate it. They didn't know how to create a system so that they can get the mail out. And the Black sisters had to get it done and make the delivery. And, you know, because soldiers were so far detached from home, and being in a war environment is good for some, that you can get good mail to come through and read it and get caught up and give you a feeling that you're connected to back home, because now you're able to exchange messages with your family members. So it was important to receive mail because it produces an extra problem, and it makes it harder for you to control a soldier because their mind is at so many different places. And this is why even for some soldiers, where you get a letter, in your letter, you know, your white boy, you know, his wife may be saying, oh, I want a divorce, I'm fucking somebody else, da da da. And next thing you know, this white boy go off and kill everybody around him. And this thing has happened in Vietnam. It happened in Iraq, War I and War II. I don't know why white women decide to do that shit like that, but they do. And these husbands go off and, you know, start killing people, and it's their own people that they start to kill.
Hold on, Maurice. Sandra, she said, because I went while you was talking, I tippy-toed and got my book.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, that's the 6888 movie.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know it was a movie. 6888. I wonder why they called it 6888.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Tyler Perry did a movie about those sisters, and one of them actually lived up here in Philadelphia.
What?
Yeah, and she's at the end of the movie. You see her on there, and she's talking. But yeah, he did a pretty decent movie about it. Mm-hmm.
How many of them you think died?
That I don't know, because they didn't even touch on that. That I don't believe in the movie, so I don't know how many actually died. I don't know.
Ooh, hold on, I'm going to show you the picture that was in the museum. No, it's not important. We can keep on going because they could look it up. 6888. I couldn't believe it.
Mm-hmm.
What my question would be to them is, what was going on in your mind for you to take on that type of response? What's it called in the military? To take on that,
to take on that mission, that job.
Yeah.
And it's simple, because they weren't doing anything. They wasn't doing anything. They were just standing around, because of course you still had that racism aspect of it that was, running the day, just like anywhere else. It was running the day. And so most black soldiers was just sitting around doing menial, labor, digging ditches, putting up fences, doing all this shit, instead of actually doing what their job demanded that they should be doing.
So somebody came up with that bright ass idea to put them on the battlefield delivering mail, Maurice?
Exactly. Yep. Yep.
Man, that's some bullshit.
Yep.
This is the picture right here that I saw in the museum.
Okay.
So this was their military uniform.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And they running, ducking and dodging bombs and bullets in skirts, jackets, and tights and some damn leather shoes with a flat sole.
Mm-hmm.
Proud.
Yep.
But this in the Jim Crow era.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
This in the Jim. Today.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Because that feeling of, I want to be along. I want to defend my country. I want to fight for my country. Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh, for my country.
Exactly.
I want to fight for my country.
Mm-hmm.
A country where they don't count you.
Exactly.
No respect for you.
Exactly.
Lynch you, your mama, and your daddy. Put bombs under the floor of your church and your house.
Mm-hmm.
Come outside, your child hanging from a tree.
Yes.
You say something that you lose your job.
Mm-hmm.
You had some sheriffs who did try due process. They tried to go about due process, but those lynch mobs come drag your ass out of prison and still lynch you.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody go to jail.
Mm-hmm.
My country,
mm-hmm.
A country at this time, the Constitution in full effect, but it didn't apply to them equally.
Exactly.
My country. And you got a lot of black people right now today, and just like you said, Christians, a lot of black Christian soldiers who are going to fight. No research, not going to denounce this bullshit, and they're going to come back in the body bag.
That's
they're
right.
coming back in a piece of wood with a flag on top. And they're going to memorialize, put your name on a piece of metal in a park somewhere, or engrave it in a piece of marble and call it a day. And give your spouse a paycheck if you are married. Other than that, your name will be lost. And you know what's so crazy? My friend girl's son, who was in the military, who was ambushed, he was guarding one U.S. embassy in some foreign country. He never had children. He was in his 20s. And that was her only son. That was her only son. And they were Christian. Her daughter married a Muslim guy. I never forget him. He was a great husband. He married that girl and put babies in her and took her from her mama and took care of her. She loved him and he loved her. He was Muslim. I would never forget that. Meanwhile, the Christian joined the military, his ass dead in his 20s. Never to have children, never to get married. They didn't even reach 25 years old. They love to take the youth. I'll never forget when I went to a memorial park. There's so many young children who lose their lives to this bullshit. They ain't gonna make it to 23. So my question to you is, before we keep on reading, for our Black brothers and sisters that join the military and go to war for white America to have their place under the sun, should we feel sorry for them when they die?
You know, that's a very powerful question. In a sense, it's like no, because they should have known better. But then when you look at it the whole way, is that they probably were never introduced or never came into contact of what the truth really is. It's one thing if they came in contact with the truth and still made that decision, and then they went off and they lost their life, then you got what you earned. But I believe that there's a greater segment that had no knowledge and was just going through the motions. And because they were going through the motions, they got swept up into something that they should never have been in. So, you know, for that group, there's sorrow, you know. But even then, I look at it where information is everywhere. We live in an information age where information is at your fingertips. You know, is there possible that your ignorance is excusable? You know, that would have to be the conversation. Is ignorance in this day and time, is it excusable? And that would have to be the conversation to have.
So with the Nation of Islam, right? The Nation of Islam have a lot of men and women who are age appropriate in regards to a military draft. With the laws that we have in place right now, if there is a draft, what happens with members of the Nation of Islam if they are called and they refuse to go? Or hold, let me ask that again. If there is a draft, what do you think those men and women in the Nation of Islam have been directed to do?
So, you know, it's not if, there will be a draft because there's not enough soldiers. So the draft is coming. And for the members of the Nation of Islam, we're already conscientious objectors. So because we are conscientious objectors, we would not go. Plus, you know, we are Muslims, so we are forbidden to fight for our enemy. So we wouldn't be allowed to go. Just like Malcolm X was called up to go. And Malcolm said, you gonna give me a gun? And the recruiter, yeah, we're gonna give you a gun. And you gonna give it, it's gonna have bullets? Yeah, it's gonna have bullets. And I can shoot it? Yeah, you gonna shoot it. He said, well, as soon as you put a gun in my hand, I'm gonna blow all y'all away. As soon as you give me a gun, I'm gonna blow y'all away.
That's what Malcolm said.
That's what Malcolm said. And they told Malcolm, get out of here, go. And so, you know, he did not go. But yeah, we're conscientious objectors. It's not going to happen. Muhammad Ali, you know, we all know what happened to him. He said, hell no, I ain't going to go. You know, Viet Cong never called me nigga. And, you know, they stripped him from his title. They took his title away from him. He spent 3 years out of boxing. And he took his case all the way to Supreme Court, but he never went. And Supreme Court said, yeah, you're a conscientious objector. It's in your religion. You ain't going. And so, he never went to jail. He didn't do any of that. You are a conscientious objector. You don't have to fight. You don't have to fight.
So they won't be, they won't get arrested?
No.
Really? So they're not subject to the draft?
No, because they're conscientious objectors. They're
Wow.
conscientious objectors. Their religion says don't do it. So they're not going to do it. It's just that simple. They're just not going to do it. And it's the law. It is the law of the land. It is the law of the land.
So I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say that they know what happens because there was a brother in the military. His name was Akbar. He took a grenade and he threw that grenade inside the commander's tent and killed up the command staff.
Wait a minute. Akbar was a black man?
Yeah.
And where was this? What's the location?
He was somewhere here, or no, I think they had already transferred over to the Middle East, and they were waiting for the command to go in and invade Iraq. And he took that grenade and threw it in the tent where all the leaders were and killed all of them.
Why?
Yeah, because they was telling him, you got to go kill Muslims. And he was telling me, I don't kill Muslims. I'm a Muslim myself. I'm not going to go kill some Muslim. And they said, oh, yes, you are. And he said, oh, no, I'm not. And he showed them. So he blew their ass out. I think he's on death row sitting there.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he's on death row. There was another one, Hassan. I think he was a major. And, he went to start killing them up too. So they are well aware that if you have Muslims in your ranks, you're going to have a problem.
You're going to have a problem.
You're going to have a problem. So they're well aware that that's an issue.
So why were they in the military if they were Muslim?
Well, because in peacetime, you ain't fighting nobody. You just going to work, going home, doing your little thing, go to
no, because you never know. They shouldn't have been in the military.
Yeah, they shouldn't have. They really shouldn't have. They really shouldn't have.
They were playing with fire.
Mm-hmm.
You can't play with fire.
No, you can't. You can't. I'm telling you, look, when I was in, and I went in at the age of 18, right? And I was a soldier. I had my stuff. I was squared away. And then I got into Islam. And when I got into the nation, then my thinking and stuff had to change. Now, my first sergeant came to me and said, you was a top soldier until you got that goddamn Islam in you. That just fucked you all the way up, because I couldn't be what I used to be because I see you as you are. I know who you are. And, it comes to a point where you got to make a decision. And so, Minister Farrakhan did a lecture and he said, if I was you, I'd get out of the white man's military. He said it 3 times. So that was sealing on the cake for me. And it was like, okay, I guess I got to go. But I wanted to be in the military. I love being a soldier. And then I learned once I got out and got fully into the FOI, then I understood what a real soldier was. And I knew that if the FOI ever had to go against the military, we would kill them without a shadow of a doubt because they're not real. They do this for a payday. The FOI don't do it because they get a check in the mail.
Right.
They do it from the love. And so I understood that we would destroy any American soldier for our Nation of Islam.
Oh, this is too much for me. So basically what I'm learning from you is that What? So there are some of that. There's some black brothers and sisters who may get drafted and don't know they have an alternative.
That's right.
Don't you think our young brothers that don't want to go need to know about what? Let me write this down in my notes. What is it called again? A conscious what?
A conscientious objector.
You need to do a separate video on that to teach people, because that's probably gonna save a lot of black. I never heard about that. And so if you are willing to do a video and people will share that information in some of these Christian churches and high schools, basketball courts, football fields, share some with these mothers to let them know, look, your son may be on the chopping block.
Right.
And you may be afraid thinking that, oh, I don't want my son to go to jail. Yeah, but your son gonna come back in a body bag. Understand that you have an alternative, and this is it. This will keep your child from being drafted. Because that's the way we can save black men and women, because I never heard about this before.
Yep. That's good. I'll do it this Sunday, because I'm going to be talking about a point that the messenger talked about I think it was in the previous chapter, about how we become hypocrites to our own salvation. Yeah, so I'll add a piece of in that on Sunday, most definitely.
Yeah, Earth say YouTube gonna come after that one. We know. But it can also be face to face. Just
exactly.
Walking up to some of these basketball courts, introducing yourself to let our brothers know that they do have an alternative, because a lot of them do not know. A lot of mothers don't know.
Right.
And we really have to save our children, because we have this war it's not our fault and it's not our problem.
Exactly.
This shit is not our fault and it is not our problem. You see, they over there, they say they bombing Demona. They said something happened in Demona. That's where they put the black people.
Exactly. Yep.
Over there shaking in their damn boots. And they say that the airport is shut down, so you can't get in, you can't get out. The stores are shut down, so you're not going to the store to buy food. People are bunkered down, waiting to see who. I would never want to live in a community like that.
No.
Why would I want to go live in a community with a bomb shelter on every corner?
Exactly.
That makes no sense. Like my coworker, oh, you would love Israel. And I was looking online. I'll say women all at the beach in bikinis. They go to club, they drink, they do drugs, they fornicate. I mean, you name it, they do. I'm like, and this supposed to be the Holy Land? I said, this is what y'all call the Holy Land? She said, but this is just she said the Holy Land is Jerusalem, where they have the wall at. She said that's where the Orthodox people are. She said, but over here it's like anything goes. I'm like, but that's not the story that y'all portray to the world.
Right.
And y'all God's chosen. And this how y'all act? Sure, please.
Ain't no way.
Ain't no way. Where we at? So we on chapter 40, verse 13.
Yep.
So Elijah Muhammad said, black man who was once a slave in America, you have a way of escape. The way out is not on your own terms. It is on the condition that you submit to Allah and come follow me. This is the only way out. I am the door, and I have the key to your salvation. Reject it and die. Is that not what the hell we just said with this conscientious objective?
Exactly. Yep.
Some people better start converting. They better start converting and converting real quick. This Christian mentality gonna get a lot of people's sons and daughters dead.
Exactly.
We are now, he said, we are in a world that is falling. It will soon be going up in flames. In Berlin, Germany, the Cold War between the East and the West will soon erupt into a hot war. It will never be settled in peace. East and West Germany must and will fight it out with all the deadly weapons that the war scientists have planned and perfected for the final showdown. Whose side is Germany? Who is Germany with?
Well, Germany is with the Israelis, but inside Germany, because Germany was split up between the East and the West. So you had one side of Germany that was controlled by Russia, and the other side of Germany that was controlled by the quote unquote allies. And so there is a schism in Germany right now where the East side and the West side, they're still fighting each other. They're going back and forth because, one side wants to live under capitalism. The other side doesn't want to live under capitalism. And so there has not been any peace over there. And so now with them talking about, getting armed up, that thing is going to come to a head and they're going to start fighting each other. And that's going to make everything even bigger because you got that one side of Germany that want to be with the Russians. The other side of Germany, they want to be with America and the boys. So it's going to be ugly.
But wait a minute. Okay, so the Holocaust did not take place in Germany?
Yep.
East or West?
That was when Germany was one country when that took part. They became East and West after World War II was over and they got divided. So half was controlled under America and Britain, and the other half was controlled under Russia.
So the part that's controlled by America and Britain, they are allies with Israel. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, ma'am.
And the part that of Russia, they don't deal with Israel.
Correct.
Wow. And you're saying that's today. That's what that is what Germany is today, East and West Germany.
No, there is one Germany now because they were East and West. So it's one Germany, but the mind is still East and West. So even though it's one country, but yet they're still East and West. It's just like Crimea over in Ukraine. Crimea separated from Ukraine because they wanted to be with Russia. And then the Ukrainians attacked Crimea because they wanted them to stay with Ukraine, to stay a part of the country of Ukraine. So then Putin had to come and protect his people that wanted to be Russian and voted to be part of Russia and all of that. So you're seeing that same dynamic that's about to play out in Germany.
Okay, wait a minute. Wait a minute. So the same Germany where the Holocaust occurred, the Germans are allies with Israel?
Exactly.
Oh, shit.
Exactly.
Germany is an ally to Israel, and they keep pushing this goddamn Holocaust shit in our face? You can't be serious. Tell me that.
Yep, that's what it is.
Germany is allied. Hold on. Germany is an Israeli ally post-Holocaust. Fuck. And we supposed to care? We supposed to care? They keep throwing that shit in our face, but that's your fucking ally.
Exactly. Yep.
Man, this shit is set up for disaster.
Yep.
Oh, I can't wait to. I'm gonna investigate that shit. I can't wait for my Jewish coworker to say something to me. See her ass again. I cannot fucking wait.
Exactly.
To shut her ass up with that one.
Yep.
You do not have to worry too much about whether or not America is coming out of Asia. Certainly, America is coming out of Asia. The odds are against her staying there. But I warn you, my black people, my black brother here in America, that while she is on the way home, we, the black people, are standing in the crossfire. The only hope that we have is to fly to our refuge in Allah. Look at what is going on to the south of us. Look at the many hijackings, sticking up of planes. America is afraid to put a stop to the hijacking, for she knows that she is going to run into more than she expects. Who would have thought that the big power America would suffer such disgrace in this day and time? This is to teach you and me, black brother, that the great power America is becoming weak and she is falling. I say, black brother, join unto your own kind. Come follow me, for the world that you and I have known will soon be known no more.
Mhm.
Now we in the chapter 41. So yeah, planes dropping out the sky.
Mhm.
So Russia and China are allies, correct?
Correct. Mhm.
What has China and Russia said about Israel attacking Iran? Have they said anything?
Oh yeah, they both have been given Iran weapons to fire back at Israel. So not only do you have Russia and China backing Iran, you have the rest of the BRICS nations back in Iran, which is South Africa, India, and a few other little small countries that are all coming to the aid of Iran. Now, if they put if America and Israelis, as well as the British, because I heard that the British were sending planes and special forces over to the region as well. They put them boots on the ground. Even North Korea is like, yeah, we're sending soldiers. If you need soldiers, Iran, we're going to send you soldiers.
Oh, that's what North Korea said?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And Great Britain is sending soldiers to, what is Great Britain doing again?
Great Britain is backing Israel. So they're sending special forces over there to the region as well.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a lot more troops that's going to be there for Iran versus for Israel. Now, what I think will happen, and this is just looking at the lay of the land, and using what Trump said that he thinks that everybody should get out of the capital of Tehran, get out of there, because I believe either America or Israel would drop a tactical nuclear bomb.
Damn. You think so?
Yeah, I do. I do.
That they're going to drop a goddamn nuclear bomb.
Exactly. A tactical nuke on Tehran. I believe that's what's going to happen. Yeah.
This is wrong on so many levels.
Mm-hmm. It really is. It really is.
This is kind of different for me. I don't try to get into the affairs of these people because they never stop. And when we look at the people who are fighting, they all European.
Mm-hmm.
All these goddamn Europeans got a foothold on the globe.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't nowhere in this shit.
Mm-mm.
There can be no, as long as they are alive, there will be no. I have come to the conclusion, as long as white people are alive and breathing, there will be no peace on earth.
That is true. That is true.
It's impossible.
Mm-hmm.
It's just really impossible.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that is true. It is impossible.
They don't understand peace.
Mm-mm.
All they know is war. It's inbred inside of them.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And there will be no world peace as long as they are alive.
Mm-hmm.
They don't stop.
No, they don't.
Netanyahu, he's out of control.
Oh, yes.
Netanyahu, he is completely out of control.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah.
He don't give a fuck about no ceasefire. Why would they even have a conversation about ceasefire as much as we talked about ceasefire with Palestine, and they did not.
Exactly.
They don't give a fuck about no ceasefire.
Mm-mm. Nope.
He want that bitch in shambles.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's what he wants. That's what he wants. And he really needs to be killed. And I tell you this, I believe that if he was killed, there'll be a lot of the last former presidents that are still alive, you know, they would celebrate his death.
Wow.
They would literally celebrate his death because none of them liked him. None of them liked him.
Did you hear they say that he fled to Germany?
Yeah, because I know his house was bombed.
His house was bombed?
His house was bombed. It sure was. Yep.
Oh, I didn't know. I know that they had something online about his house, but I didn't know it actually hit the house.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He shouldn't be allowed. Why would you leave?
Exactly. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yep.
It says Netanyahu's family home in Caesarea hit in Iran's fresh missile attack on Israel. So they did hit his house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
They know where he lived.
Mm-hmm. Because when Netanyahu, now Trump told Netanyahu not to go after the supreme Ayatollah of Israel, of Iran. Don't try to kill him. But he said, fuck it, I'm gonna try to kill him anyway. And so they were like, oh, okay, well, you're gonna try to kill us. We coming for you. And see, you know, this is the thing for me though. Iran, they're trying to have a moral war when your enemy don't have morals. So that, to me, if you try to fight them on a moral ground, you're going to lose automatically because you're not going to go where they will go. You're not going to do that when you should. And the Quran tells you, fight with those who fight with you in the manner in which they fight. So if they go low, goddamn it, you go low and you take their ass out.
Yeah.
You know, they want to, nah, fuck that. I wouldn't have, look here, I'll be destroying every damn thing over there. I'll be sending bombs 24/7.
So they hit his house and he packed his shit up and left the goddamn country.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, when he did his last video that I seen, and he said, I'm away in a secure, unknown location. Nigga, you done fled your own damn country. You done started this shit, and you done fled your own country and talk shit on the video. You know, he tells me, you know, I did this for America. I did this for Europe because y'all were under stress, y'all were under attack, but I came to help you. Now I need you to come and help me. Oh, get the fuck out of here, nigga. You started this shit on your own.
So is America gonna go to his rescue?
Yes. Unfortunately, yes. Trump done broke his back. He ain't got no more backbone to stand up. So his back is bent over. So yeah, America is going to war. America is going to war.
And it's so crazy how these, I'm just making the connections. The Holocaust took place in Germany, but Germany as an ally to Israel, and now that they struck Iran, Netanyahu done took his ass over to Germany where the goddamn Holocaust took place.
Exactly.
It's all bullshit.
Look what this nigga said. Netanyahu said Hitler didn't want to put us in no gas chambers. Hitler didn't want to kill us. It was the Muslims that talked Hitler into killing us. He forced Hitler's hand to kill us. And it's like, nigga, what? You just being a revisionist all of a sudden?
Yeah. They specialize in that. They specialize in making up shit.
Mm-hmm.
So are you saying that he's using that revised story to justify his hatred towards Muslim people?
Yes. Yeah.
Goddamn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what he doing.
Brother Roy say, is Netanyahu Polish?
You know, he probably is. He probably is. He probably is.
Let's see what this European Caucasian. Let's see where the hell he was born. He was born in, they say he was born in Tel Aviv.
Where was his daddy born at?
Exactly. His father, let's see. He got children. He got 3 children. Let's see his father. His father was born in Poland.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go, right there. Mm-hmm.
His father was born in Poland.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see something right quick. So yeah, he was born in 1949. Okay, Netanyahu was born in 1949. What year was the Balfour Declaration? Let's see what year was the Balfour Declaration. Oh, that was 1917.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that it kind of explains it. He was like damn near one of the. What year did I say Netanyahu was born? What year did I say?
I didn't write it down.
Let me see. Okay, so hold on to 1917. Balfour Declaration, November 2nd, 1917, right?
Mm-hmm.
A public statement by the British government expressing support for the establishment of a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine. Okay. So, right. Okay. So Sandra said 1949. So he was born in Tel Aviv because they were over there already snatching and killing people.
Exactly.
That's all he know.
Mm-hmm.
He got that shit from his Polish ass daddy,
Mm-hmm.
who went over there after this declaration, killing, bombing, murdering, snatching people out their damn house because they had a piece of paper in their hand that said they have a right to be there. This shit deep in his fucking blood. That's all Netanyahu know is death.
Mm-hmm.
And I get what the fuck I want.
Yeah.
He's never gonna stop.
Mm-mm. Nope.
Yeah, Israel. Yeah, by the time Netanyahu was born, Sandra, the Balfour Declaration was in full effect. So this kind of explains his mentality, because he probably was a young boy seeing people get killed and his father was justifying it.
Mm-hmm.
Just like you have a lot of Israeli soldiers, their children fully support annihilating each and every Palestinian. Kill them all. I've watched the videos today, and those young children, like teenagers, high school age, they supported Israel, and it was like, just kill them, kill all the Palestinians. There's no other way around it. Kill all of them, young, old, babies, all of them have to die because babies become adults. We must kill them. These are children.
Exactly. Exactly.
And they were convinced that what they were saying was right.
Mm-hmm.
This is what they teach their children.
Exactly. Exactly. And so, you know, when they were having that meeting and they said that Black children, Black youth are the enemies of Israel. So when that was put out their mouths and they wasn't trying to hide it, that lets you know that we're on their radar. Our children are on their radar to be destroyed. That's on their radar. Mm-hmm. And so what they practice on the Palestinians, they look to perfect it on us. Mm-hmm. You know, and this is why I say that, you know, they come with us with that bullshit. We have no choice but to kill them. It's just the way it is. You know, they train American police officers on how to deal in the city. So they're being trained to mistreat us, to kill us, to get it over with, because that's what is in the mind of the Israelis. And so this is why we're at this point where it is either kill or be killed. It is either kill or be killed. And that is the reality in which we live.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I first started really looking into Israel, the first thing that came to my mind is when I first started looking at the videos of what was going on in Palestine, the first thing that popped up in my spirit, I said, they're showing us what they're going to do to us next.
Mm-hmm.
They are relentless.
Mm-hmm.
Once Israel starts striking, they don't stop until you in rubbles.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if they say go to the left, you better go to the right.
Mm-hmm.
If they say go east, you better go west.
Mm-hmm.
They tell you where to go to bomb that specific area.
Exactly.
They relentless.
Exactly.
And it seems right now that they're unstoppable. That's what it seems.
Mm-hmm.
But
they will be stopped. They will be stopped.
It needs to be now.
It really does.
We don't have that. We can't give them more time to murder.
Mm-mm.
They're murdering people.
Mm-hmm.
The scientist who was responsible for negotiating, they kill him.
Mm-hmm.
Nuclear negotiations, they kill that man.
Yep.
So now Iran doesn't have anybody who's trained in negotiating.
Mm-mm.
Because they just killed the goddamn man. I think they killed him today.
Mm-hmm.
Strategically killing their scientists.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they want to fight for a right to exist in this world. The Day of America's Downfall, chapter 41. Allah manifests the fall of America. He desires to make America fall as a warning to her brothers in Europe. White Americans and Germans, Allah has taught me, are the most wicked of the white race. The wicked deeds that have been performed and are still being performed by white Americans upon the so-called Negroes, their slaves, are the worst in the annals of history. Pause. Why do you think at this time Elijah Muhammad did not mention Israel in paragraph number 1? Because I'm going to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they are the most wicked of all Europeans.
I would guess because at that time, they weren't doing the things that they're doing now. When you look at the Germans went into Africa and what I believe it's called Namibia, and I may not be pronouncing it properly, but they went there and they practiced their killing. They practiced genocide on Black people. And then they perfected it when they got them Jews up in there. Those fake Jews, they perfected it on them. But they started to learning how to do it and how to manipulate it on our own people. And so this is why I believe that they are on that list. But the Israelis at that time, they hadn't done any of the stuff that they're doing currently. They had not done that type of thing yet.
Okay. So who would you say are the most wicked Europeans on earth?
Well, I would definitely agree with America being the wickedest.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Worse than Israel?
Yeah, because what Israel is doing to the Palestinians is wrong, is bad. But what was done to us, it was worse. They still know their name, they know their country, they know their religion, they know their history. They're still intact. Mm-hmm. Their problem is the rest of them motherfucking Arabs over there bullshitting and ain't doing a goddamn thing but watching them die.
Yeah,
They're watching them die. Yet, but they want to say that we're not real Muslims. Then fuck you and fuck the Islam that you do, because I don't want no part of that teaches you to be a fucking faggot and watch your people be destroyed in front of your face.
Right.
So, that thing, what we've been through, ain't no people on this planet has been through. Even our brothers and sisters that were didn't come to America but went to other ports for their enslavement, they still knew their language. They knew where they came from. All of that shit was still intact. We were totally wiped out of everything. And so even America, they even confessed that their system of slavery that they put us in was worse than anything ever on this planet when it comes to slavery. So Americans are for me, they are the most wicked. They are the most nastiest. They are the very embodiment of evil. The rest of the white group, they are evil, but they have not went to the length that America has went through to destroy a people, to remake a people to be their perpetual servants. Other white folks haven't been that nasty. They'll kill you. They'll kill you. They over there in Britain now, if you black and you commit a crime, they kicking you out to go to whatever country your parents came from. Even if you was born and raised in Britain, they kicking your ass out and you going to wherever your parents came from. Whether you ever been there before or not. You don't even have a way to say, I don't want to go. They kicking your ass out.
They doing that in Britain now?
And right now, they are doing that right now.
That's what America should do with all these goddamn sexual predators we got in my neighborhood. Boot their ass out.
Mm-hmm.
Where you came from, bye. Because they just nasty. Oh my God. These Hispanics, they can't keep their hands off their own daughters.
What? They got that problem?
Oh my God.
Wow.
Oh my God. It's non-stop. And they'll be from 20 on up. It won't stop fucking the children. So why the fuck the Palestinians just don't get their shit and leave? Why would they want to subject themselves to a police state? Like every aspect of their life is controlled 24/7, 365. They're abused, killed, houses taken from them, wives assaulted, children assaulted, like put in jail for crimes that they did not commit. Why? And I asked myself that question. I was like, if I was a Palestinian, I would just leave. Why the fuck would you stay to be subjected to that type of terror? So why do you think they won't just leave?
Where they gonna go?
They got Palestinians that live all over the United States.
But America don't want them.
They here.
Yeah, but they're not here in no masses like that. They don't want them. Jordan don't want them. Egypt don't want them. Saudi Arabia don't want them.
Damn.
They ain't got nowhere to go.
They ain't got no goddamn where to go.
They ain't got nowhere to go.
But they still fucking and having children. Knowing that the Israelis are gonna, that's the same shit with the goddamn slaves was having babies. Knowing the slave master was a nasty motherfucker, but you sit there and have children. See, whoo.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
So Elijah Muhammad said, they have been clever enough in their wickedness to make the so-called Negro slaves love them, though they are their open enemies and murderers. Allah, in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom be praised forever, now judges the American whites and is causing America's fall and total destruction. Egypt under Pharaoh is an example, fulfilling the signs and other prophecies of the doom of this people as foretold by the prophets from Noah to Jesus. Moses and Jesus are the most outstanding prophets in the history of the Caucasian race for the past 4,000 years. There are several other contemporaries, but Moses and Jesus are the major prophets of the white race's history. The whole of the civilized world today, as prophesied in Isaiah, is against the white man of America. Allah hates the wicked American whites and threatens to remove them from the face of the earth. See, they don't like that. You say Allah. Did Elijah Muhammad just say Allah hate white people?
Yep.
American white people? He say he hate them?
He sure did.
Well, what about the other white people?
Hell, he don't like them either. And all of them are on death row. Every last single one of them are on death row. And so they're not going to escape that. Is this the American white man has just been so evil and wicked? I mean, when you, all white folks are evil and wicked, but when you sit up here and you put the crimes of the American white man, the European white man, you know, or even break it down to the German white man, the Polish white man, and look at their crimes that they've committed, America, this white man has outdone them all. He's outdone them all. And so this one is the apex. This one is the apex of evil. This is the one that says, I am God. I am God. You say, your God gonna make it rain? Well, I know how to make it rain. I know how to make it rain. I'm gonna cause this to flood. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. This one has actually challenged the God for supremacy. So this is why is pointing out the white man, the American white man, where all white folks are on that death row.
Damn. He say Allah hates the wicked American whites and threatens to remove them from the face of the earth. He's saying this during Jim Crow era. This chick was some bold statements he was making. I know he had them white people tossing in their damn bed, casket, and everything else. Since white Americans and the white race in general have deceived the entire world of black people and their brethren, brown, red, and yellow, Allah now is causing these people to wake up and see the white race as it really is, the created enemy of the darker people. As we see today, there is a general awakening of the darker people into the knowledge of self and the knowledge of their age-old 6,000 years enemies all over the earth. The American white race cannot sincerely give the so-called Negroes, their slaves, a square deal. She only desires to deceive them. So why in the hell, when Elijah Muhammad left, did his son allow white people to come into the damn nation after this teaching?
Okay. So before the Honorable Elijah Muhammad left, he said to his laborers, including Minister Farrakhan, he said, you know, you all love me now, but in a short while, you know, there won't be nobody that loves me. You all will turn against me. And, you know, the minister was like, huh? What? Where you get that from? And the messenger told him, but I prayed for you, brother, that when you turn hypocrite, that Allah goes after you and bring you back. And so when the messenger went away and his son Wallace came on and he took down the Islamic flag and raised the American flag, he told them, you ain't got to dress like that no more. You ain't got to be a stickler for this no more. This, the white people come on in, you can join, you can be a part. And he made them more American than America and destroyed the Nation of Islam. But the proof that what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was taught by Master Farad Muhammad was correct, that after that third year, Minister Farrakhan rose in the language of the messenger and brought back the Nation of Islam from complete destruction, brought it all the way back, roaring like a lion. This shows he was the evidence, he was the proof that the teachings that Master Farad Muhammad gave the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was true, because he came it back. He brought everything back to life.
Because there were some people that stayed with Wallace. They followed Wallace.
Yeah.
And people that he introduced them to, that you taught us about, Jim Jones, all the way to their death.
That's right.
I don't understand how they can get this type of teaching, and then Wallace comes into his leadership role and he brings the goddamn enemy into the goddamn nation. I would have been throwing all kind of goddamn shoes, books, tomatoes, goddamn pieces of wood. I'm like, what? Did nobody try to attack Wallace?
No, nobody tried to attack. There was a schism. People left. Minister Farrakhan said he went back to smoking cigars, and he was even one night in the club.
Come on now, hold on. You mean to tell me ain't nobody try to jump Wallace?
No, ain't nobody.
Man, y'all would have had to hold me back. Y'all would have had to hold me back.
Wallace was seen as the heir apparent. Wallace was seen as the most the smartest one of the messenger's children. And so when he came on board and he was making the changes, those who couldn't get along with it, they dropped out, and the minister dropped out, and Wallace called him in a meeting and said, the nation is dying, and it's dying because we don't have your voice. And the minister said, well, hell, I can't teach what I know, because if I teach what I know, it's against you, because I'm with your father. I'm not with you. And so they went their separate ways, because the minister, he said he couldn't stay up under this new teaching, because that new teaching said that everything that Elijah Muhammad gave you was no good. It was a lie. It was not real Islam. And so now I'm giving you real Islam. And so you see what happened.
Oh, I'm sorry. Somebody was knocking on my door. That's just Amazon. It's still light outside at 8. Oh, that's Amazon. Yeah, it's still light outside. I'm sorry. What were you saying? The last part you were saying?
Yeah. So, Wallace said that, I'm coming to give you real Islam, because what my father gave you was a lie. It was not real Islam. It was not truth. And so he deceived you, and I'm coming to give you the real deal. So when that happened, there was a schism in the mind of Black folks. What? You the man's son, and you telling us everything he taught us was a lie, and now you're coming to give us the real deal, after they all installed him to be the leader. But we see that, they couldn't even hold on to everything that the messenger had. They all was losing it bit by bit, lost everything. So,
did some people get up and walk out during what y'all call it, service? Do y'all call it a service or a lecture or what?
Yeah, during the lecture, yeah, people got up and walked out.
People were literally, when Wallace was up there teaching, people was contrary to his father, when he was up there teaching, contrary to Elijah Muhammad. You mean to tell people was getting up mid-lecture and walking out?
Oh yeah. You got people now that some people are angry still with Minister Farrakhan that he didn't get up right away and start teaching that, and that he didn't fight Wallace for leadership. And even at that time, he don't think that he would have won. They would have killed him, because when he walked into the auditorium, when the messenger was no longer there, one of his FOI from New York was like, brother minister, where are your guards at? And minister was like, I don't know, they're around somewhere. I don't need them. And he was like, oh, yes, you do, because these people crazy around here. They done lost their mind. So if you go back to the video where the minister was up there, they were waiting for him to say something wrong, and they'd have took his head right there before that in front of everybody. They were waiting for him to say something wrong, and they'd have took him out right then and there. It's all, oh yeah. Oh yeah. It was a tense time. It was a tense time. And the minister said he didn't know which way to go. He didn't know what to do because he wasn't expecting for the messenger not to be here. He wasn't expecting that. And so when that reality hit, and before the messenger left, people was calling him and saying, hey, you need to come to Chicago. You need to come to Chicago. You need to come to Chicago. And the minister was like, no, I got a cold. I don't want to do that. So I'm going to stay here. But he said he was thinking that they were trying to trick him to come to Chicago so that he can pledge his loyalty to Wallace. And so he didn't want to do that. So he stayed in New York where it was safe, didn't understand that they was trying to get him next to the messenger so the messenger can tell him, yeah, you take it from here and do what need to be done. Because everybody was setting up to see, well, we're going to make sure Wallace take this and do that. And, Farrakhan ain't part of the family. Wallace is actually blood to the family. So we're going to make sure it stay in the blood.
Where's Wallace now?
Dead.
How he died?
He died of something. I forget what it was, but yeah, he's dead. Minister Farrakhan is the only one left
from that era that actually met Elijah Muhammad.
Yeah, you still have a few more that still left the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, but the minister is the only standing leader left.
I don't understand what you mean. I'm talking about when you mean standing leader, meaning
out of all of the organizations back then, he's it. Where even you had a man named Royal, and he came and he called himself that he was Allah in person.
Oh Lord.
And he was, I got Elijah Muhammad with me, and we're gonna take the nation and all this. That nigga died from COVID. And so
when? Recently?
Yeah, recently. He died from COVID. Yeah, he came back and he said, Farrakhan is in my house and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that because I'm Allah in person. Yeah, that's what he was saying.
And got COVID and died.
He got COVID and died. Exactly.
So Wallace, did he have a wife?
Yeah, he had a wife.
And children.
And children.
And he's dead.
And he's dead.
And now Ishmael is standing.
Is standing with Minister Farrakhan.
Elijah Muhammad have a lot of children that's not even in the limelight.
Exactly.
Their names are online, but you can't click it. And because some of them they've just gone into obscurity, like they don't even want to be bothered. Yeah, Ishmael is one who he's out there.
Yeah, and his brother Rasul, he just died recently. I think maybe a month or two ago. Passed away. But he was in the nation. Matter of fact, he was over Florida. He was over the southern region.
Rasul.
Rasul. Yeah.
And he passed away recently?
Recently, yeah.
Was he active in the nation?
Oh, yes.
He was?
Yep. He was over the region down there, Florida and all that. He was over that in the nation. He was the regional minister down there.
Did he own a clothing store?
That I'm not sure. He probably did, but I don't know.
Damn. Okay, false equality. Today, America is trying against her will to give the so-called Negro civil rights, which is against the very nature and will of the white race. For the first time since the black man has been here, America falsely offers him social equality in certain parts of the country. This social equality consists mostly of permitting the American black race to mix openly with the white man and his woman, the devils. The actual idea, however, is to grant the so-called Negro social equality among the lower class of whites. This is done so that the scriptures wherein they prophesy that the white man tempts and corrupts the so-called Negroes with his women might be fulfilled. Interesting. Because it's a lot of black men that's taking on these white women and they are losing it.
Yep.
I mean, it's so many black men that's getting caught up with these white women. They are losing it. They dying. They going to jail. They HIV positive. It's just so much with these damn white women. And Elijah Muhammad said, wherein they prophesy that the white man tempts and corrupts the so-called Negroes with his women. God has taught me that the white race was grafted unalike. And being unalike, it is able to attract the black man and black woman, getting them to do all the evil and indecency known to the white race. Doom prophesied. One of the prophets of the Bible prophesied in regard to America. As the morning spreads abroad upon the mountains, a great and strong people set in battle array. That's in Joel chapter 2, verse 2. This is the setting of the nations for a showdown to determine who will live on earth. The survivor is to build a nation of peace, to rule the people of the earth forever under the guidance of Almighty God Allah. With the nations setting forth for a final war at this time, God pleads for his people, the inheritors of the earth, the so-called Negroes. The so-called Negro is the prey of the white man of America, being held firmly in the white man's power, along with 2 million Indians who must be redeemed at this time, and will be if the so-called Negro turns to his Redeemer. The problem of the American black man is his unwillingness to be separated from his 400-year-old enemies. The problems, therefore, is harder to solve, especially with the enemy trying to fascinate the Negro with his lower class girls and women, arraying them partly nude before the Negroes in every public news media, cheap daily newspapers and magazines, radio, TV, and the Negro is quick to imitate. You know who I thought about in that paragraph?
Who?
What was the name of that boxer? Was it Jim Jones? What was his name? Jim Jackson?
Johnson. You
Jim
talking about? Yeah, the heavyweight boxer.
Yeah, because he had a white wife, right?
Right. Yeah, Johnson.
And wasn't she a prostitute?
I'm not sure if she was a prostitute. She may have been. I'm not sure.
It was something with that white woman. She was, I think she was a working girl.
You know, they charged him with basically transporting prostitutes across state lines. That's what they charged his ass with.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Woo, Lord have mercy. What was the mindset with him, with that white woman? Was it just to show white America, look what I can have? Because he was already knocking white men straight the fuck out. So why do you think he married this white woman?
Well, I think it was to make a point of, you know, this supposed to be the best woman and I got it. You know, so not only am I whooping your ass, but I'm fucking your girl at the same time.
Oh, oh, you know they didn't like that.
Oh no!
Oh my God, I'm knocking your ass out, and I'm putting pipe up in the white woman.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, look at these white women, not white, but the girl with Sean Combs. They were for of Asian persuasion. And look at what they would do just to be in his presence. It's so many black men that's falling, messing around with these white. Remember it was a social media influencer. I don't know her name, but she beat up her black boyfriend and shot his ass and killed him. And they had the video of her attacking him. I think she attacked him in an elevator. I'm not sure, but she was the aggressor. He was trying to get away from her.
Oh yeah, I seen that one.
Yeah, and she murdered him. And then look at the big lip guy who's now with Megan. I think her name is Megan Good.
I don't know.
The big lip guy who was running from the white girl. Let me pull up. Oh, they be running from. See, they be stomping the shit out of black women, but when they come to that white woman, they be running. Why these big burly ass niggas running from these little scrawny ass white women? Let me see about him. Him right here. You know who I'm talking about. Here you go, right here, Maurice. Hold on.
Okay.
His big lip ass. He is such a coward. He was running from, remember they had the video? He was running from the white girl.
Let me see. Oh, yeah. 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 Exactly.
I don't know his name, but he was bucking.
He sure was.
He gonna try to redeem himself with a black woman, and she took him in and gave him and blew the breath of life back in his ass. Ain't no damn way. I would say hell nah. We saw you running from Becky. You are so unworthy of me. And now they supposed to be a couple.
Oh wow. Ain't no way.
Ain't no damn way. Ain't no damn way.
Nope.
All right, where we at? Yeah, they getting them in trouble. They gonna learn.
Exactly.
Because you remember that movie, Get Out?
Yep.
The last part of the movie, the white girl was on her bed with her headphones on. She just vibing, listening to the music, but she's scouting for the next black man that she's gonna, be, I guess, introduce herself to so that they could get his brain.
Yep.
They go scouting for our black brothers. You see the football player just married the white girl. What's his name? Trenton. What's his name?
You talking about who used to play for Dion in college?
I don't know. Let me see. Is his name Tristan? Is his name Tristan Thomas?
No, his name is what is that boy?
No, that's not
boy.
him.
What's that boy name? What's that brother name who just married the white woman? He used to play on Deion Sanders for college. Travis Hunter.
Travis Hunter.
Yep, that's his name. Thank you.
He married her. He married her with no
Yeah.
With no prenup.
Exactly. I said, man, you's a fool. You's a fool, dude. Because she gonna take all you got.
What make you think him? What makes you think? Why did he do that?
Because from what I understood, she was down with him, and when he didn't have nothing and all that bullshit, so out of the loyalty, I know she loves me, the hell out of here.
Hold on, wait. She was down with him. She was sent to him. Hold on, Maurice. Hold on one more time before we sign out. Hold on. Let me see something right quick. Okay, let me see. Hopefully you can see this. Did you see this right here? We're going to get to the reading so we can go, because I know people got to go to work.
No, I didn't see that. What the hell?
That is so he looked like, first of all, he looked like the girl on Martin. Sinead. First of all, his mouth, no, he looked like that goddamn Jamie Foxx when Jamie Foxx was dressed like a woman.
Exactly.
Some big ass lips, some big ass teeth, his shirt all open, dancing like a damn monkey. Like, I'm so sick of these. And you see the little white girl just dancing with him.
Exactly.
Happy to be with him. She was sent to him. Now he looked a little zesty though. To me, he looked a little zesty. He may be gay. And ain't no black woman gonna allow that shit.
Exactly.
So this may be a setup for him to appease to his sexual desires and also help him get that money. White folks know how to do it. Yeah, they setting his ass up.
Oh yeah.
He look a little zesty.
Exactly.
Earth said he was waiting outside the bar while she was dancing on other men.
What?
You know, a lot of these guys be gay. Remember what happened when that black football player came out with his white boyfriend? He tried to come out publicly announcing their relationship, and America was not ready for that. He's not in the league anymore.
Nope, he sure not.
So, you know, just because he got this white woman, he probably has some type of agreement, because the way I'm looking at him and his energy is giving me homosexual. His energy is giving me that he's homosexual and she's probably just a beard. Or maybe he's bisexual and she's still a beard. But I do think he has I think he might be a little bit gay. I kind of see it in him. And it explains it all. Wow. So Roy said, what's gonna happen if he sprained the ankle? She gonna leave get that money and leave. He'll just become a commentator. She'll get that money and go.
Yep.
Because usually what they do, when I was just talking to my mom about this, when white women, from what I've been seeing, when white women marry black men with money and something happens to that black man, if they remarry, they typically remarry somebody that is white. They don't remarry black. Wow. They marry that nigga, they get that money, and when that nigga die, they go back to their own people. That's what I see. You rarely see them remarry another black person. They know the deal.
Wow.
Think about wait, Kobe wife. I wonder who she's dating. I doubt very seriously if Kobe's wife would date or marry a black man. Because she don't like black people. You see how she treated his mother and father. She don't like black people. She like black penis, but she don't like black people. So the problem between these two people, separating and dignifying the so-called Negroes so they may be accepted and respected as equals or superiors to other nations, must be solved. This is God's promise to the so-called Negro, the lost and found members of the original black nation of the earth. This promise was made through the mouths of his prophets, Bible and Quran, that he would separate us from our enemies, dignify and make us the master. He would separate us from our enemies, dignify and make us the masters after this wicked race has been judged and destroyed for its own evils. But as I said, the solving of this problem, which means the redemption of the Negro, is hard to do since he loves his enemies. You can see it says Bible, Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 15 and 18. That's in Psalms, Isaiah, Matthew chapter 25, verse 32, and Revelations chapter 14. The manifestation of Allah and judgment between the so-called Negro and the enemy of God and the nation of Islam will make the so-called Negro see and know his enemy and himself, his people, his God, and his religion. Rejection of self. We hear the statements of Black educational, political, and Christian classes which express their love for the white man, publicly asking to be his brothers, if not his brothers-in-law. Now, this class wants to make it clear to the world that they really love the white race and not the Black race. This means that they want to be white instead of Black. The devils have made them hate Black. They reject the thought of Black ever being the ruler or equal with the ruler. They ask boldly for inferiority, not only for themselves, but for their people. They want to absorb themselves and their kind, especially the so-called American Negro, into the race of white people, thus ending the Black race. This is just the opposite with Allah. Myself and my followers, we want out completely. We want no claim to kinship with a people who by nature are not our kin. Read from Genesis to the Revelations in the Bible, and from Surah 2 to Surah 114 of the Holy Quran. By no means are the so-called Negroes and the whites kin. God did not create them brothers, nor did he create them to ever become brothers. One is created an enemy against the other. And since the righteous are more powerful than the wicked, Allah, the God of righteousness, set a time of reckoning for the enemy, the white man of the righteous. Separation. We want separation. We want a home on this earth we can call our own. We want to go for self and leave the enemy who has been sentenced to death by Allah from the day he was created. No one, white, Black, brown, yellow, or red, can provide to me by any scriptures of Allah sent by one of the prophets of Allah that we should not be separated from the white race, that we should believe and follow the religion dictated, shaped, and formed by the white race's theologians. The coming of Allah and the judgment of the wicked world is made clear by the prophetic sayings of the prophets. The so-called reverends and the proud intellectual class are doomed to destruction with the enemy if they remain with him instead of joining unto Allah, who loves them and who will deliver them and the nation of Islam. The so-called Negro masses must be warned of the grave mistake they make in following the leadership of those who love and befriend their murderers. This will not get them freedom or civil rights. Sorry about this. So I had to pop this mosquito. I'm sorry. Where are we? America is falling. Her doom has come, and none, said the prophets, shall help her in the day of her downfall. In the Bible, God pleads with you to fly out of her, America, and seek refuge in him. It certainly will change your minds about following a doomed people, a people who hate you and your kind, and who call one who teaches the truth about them a hater. They are the producers of haters of us. We are with God and the righteous. Okay, this is the last one. So we're going, how many pages is this? Only 3. Let's get it. But that's interesting. He said, the people who hate you, they hate your kind, and somebody who teach you the truth, you say that he's a hater.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But they're the one that produces the hate.
Mm-hmm.
And we over here trying to live righteous.
Exactly.
Foolishness. The days of trouble. The days of trouble have now come to us from Almighty God Allah, the God who is the real owner of the heaven and earth. Allah created for himself a heaven, and then he let it out to a foreigner, white race, for them to enjoy themselves in it for a while. They have proved unworthy of such glorious creation, and now the God who is the owner of this heaven and earth is ready to take over and rule it for himself. Never no more will the earth nor the heavens of the earth be let out to non-owners. It is a great wisdom taught to us in letting new creatures, white race, try their knowledge of mastering that which they were not made to master, which we knew when we made them that they would not be able to master the original creation for long. For as long as we, the Black people, are of the planet, there is no new creature that could be put in order for ruling that which we already have, and we are in it. It is such a wise piece of work that has been done. The wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the originator of this creation is just. There is no comparison anywhere to make. There is no such thing that the originator can put the planet aside out of the whole and let someone else take over. This race, the white race, has not been successful in ruling according to their will and according to a real owner. For the white race had to use the originator's material that he himself had created. There is nothing of which the white man can call himself the creator. Nothing. Nothing the white man can call himself the creator. So therefore, since the white man continued to make trouble, which by nature he was made to do, we do not see any way out of trying to live with the white man in peace. The nature of the white man is ever causing unrest among themselves and among us too. The white man just cannot make peace for himself because of his nature. Today, God has decided that we, the Black people, cannot get along with the white man in peace, and that the white man must be removed. The white race wanted to remove us, the Black people, but in order for the white man to remove us, the Black man, we would have to remove the whole, but in order for the white man to remove us, the Black man, he would have to remove the whole entire heavens and make the heavens void of anything like life. Then from a void, we would have to start all over again and create life. For the life in the universe is life that we, the Black people, have established. Therefore, to get away from our own life, which was created by the Black man, so that a new life could come in, we would have to rid the space of life, which belongs to us, the Black man. And when the space was rid of the life that we, Black people, had created, another one would have to create life of his own making. We, the poor Black people here in America, must be changed into a new and different people altogether. So Allah, whom came in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise I do forever, taught me, but not a complete make of us. We will be renewed from what we are in now, and we call it a new thing. There will come a day when we, the Black people, will have a completely new thing for man and earth and the heavens above us. But according to the scientists, God will cause this to grow into a new thing, not a complete destruction of the world where there is no root, tog, row, something from, not at this time. The things that Allah would like to do now and will do is to destroy the works of the devil, as the devil would like to destroy God's work, which God has created. The devil cannot destroy God's creation because the devil had no part in the creation of the first creation. Since the devil had no part in the first creation, this makes the devil unable to lay hold to the power that would destroy the first work of God. The main thing which I keep mentioning enough to make you disgusted is something for the Black man in America who has spent his life long in sleeping in ignorance of the knowledge of that which he is in. But as soon as the Black man can awaken to the knowledge of this that he is in, then he can lay hold to that which he did not have knowledge of, which is that the Black man is the creator of the first creation. Allah wants to put the black man back into power. And the way the black man can be put back into power is Allah has to make the black man all over again to master the power after giving the black man authority. Look at the poor, once pitiful black man in America. Look at how he strives to reach for himself and is now making a fast progress in that which God leads for him to understand. The black man's conversation is changed. The black man's way of thinking is changed. His actual physical form is changed. It is a great thing that has come to the black man in America. The black man in America is getting happier and happier. It is not hard for the black man in America to get rich, for he is getting rich from his own wisdom. No one has given him anything. And as the Bible teaches you of the prodigal son, no one gave unto him, but he is getting rich so fast that God chooses the prodigal son to become the head of the house that he strayed away from. The future of the black man is so beautiful that we can hardly comprehend it. The biggest thing that stands before us is qualification and readiness. Let us get qualified to master the house that God has given to us before someone tries to rob us of that mastering of the house. If they rob us of the mastery of the house, I'm sorry for us. I say to you, black brother and black sister, do not be foolish. The kingdom of heaven will be given to you and me. Have patience to receive it. But to get the house into our service, it is like a mother giving birth to a baby. The baby must mature in that which he is in. As a baby matures in the womb of the mother in order to be born, so the black man must mature to be born into a new world that the black man must build himself. These are the days of trouble.
Mm. Wow. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Any closing comments you have, sis?
No, it was very profound when he said, like some people may say it's cruel to say that God, is going to remove the white man, but they tried to remove us.
Mm-hmm.
That they literally tried to remove us and other ethnic groups of people from the face of the earth. They kill a damn self. And that made my light bulb come on, like to get down to the bottom of where we need to be. Some people just going to really have to be removed.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to come through death and bloodshed.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't sympathize or you can't flinch. You can't cry over these people and say, "Oh, that's not nice. That's not right." No, but they did it to you first.
That's right.
And you got to really build up the strength to know that, some people just really got to go. And whatever that looks like, it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's nothing pretty with war.
That's right.
Nothing. And these people do not fight fair.
Mm-mm.
So, however they go, they just really need to go. Because as long as they are breathing, there will be no peace on earth. And I'll rest with that.
That is 1000% correct. There will be no peace on earth. And, that's what Don Rumsfeld said, who was the Secretary of Defense under George Bush, the son. He said, there's some words you'll never hear me say. Just and lasting peace, because there is no peace on this world, and there's nothing that is just and lasting. So you never heard him say we're fighting for a just and lasting peace. One thing that Ayatollah Khomeini has said, he called America the great Satan. The great Satan. Why did he call America the great Satan? It's because of the works that America has done. He knew the history of what America has done to us. He knew the Honorable Elijah Muhammad called the white man the devil, and he called America the great Satan. There are peoples all over this earth that hate America for what America has done to them. And a lot of those people that hate America are now in America. Inside America, we will see blood flowing. There will be fighting in the streets that we live on. All of this will come, and we must be ready. We must be ready. Get out of the habit of saying they're sending our soldiers. We're going to war. Our astronauts. No, America is going to war. Or they are going to war. You ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere. We ain't got a damn thing to fight for. We're not involved in that. This sister on TikTok did a beautiful video, and she sent it to the Iranian people to watch, where she says, basically, we ain't got a damn thing to do with America. We ain't the ones that don't like y'all. We ain't got no problem with y'all. That's them. Don't get it confused, because we ain't them. And they are them and we are us. This not our fight. They pumped Trump, and now Trump is going to go to war because Israel said so. You remember and tell your people, they get a letter in the mail, you better tell them, I'm a conscientious objector.
Mm-hmm.
I don't fight in your wars. I don't believe in it. Hell, tell them I'm Muslim. I'm accepting my own and being myself. And to accept my own and be myself mean I will not go and kill somebody for you. I'm not doing it. It can't be done. Period, point blank. We are going to have a time where, just like Sister Mayat and myself, you know, where you got to stand up for yourself and speak the unmitigated truth. And to hell with them who get angry, who don't like it, fuck them. Say what need to be said. Take a stand for what's right. They looked for you always to be their tool to go do their bidding. Time is up for that. You should not want to be found in no white man's military, because you will go away and you will die. There will not be nobody saying, same. You won't find that this time, because you should have known better this time. We thank all of you for coming. We thank you all for staying with us for these 3 hours. We thank you for engaging and help making the program better as we get better. And none of this is scripted. All of this is coming right off the top of our heads. But we love you all yesterday, today, and tomorrow. At the end of the day, know that we are all we got.
Mm-hmm.
Know that when you meet our people, most of the time, if not all the time, you're the only representative of a God that's real, that's coming to them. You're the only representative of a real God to them. Let us show them the right way, teach them the right way.
Before you close out, I want to ask you a question, then we can leave. Before you close out, go ahead, finish that.
So if you can't explain what we've explained, share them the video, and hopefully it will allow them to make the proper choices, to choose life, which means separating yourself from this wicked enemy and accepting your own and being yourself. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so quickly, you remember when the illegal immigrants over the past 2 years, especially over the past 2 years, a lot of those illegal immigrants, they were coming in from China.
Mm-hmm.
Remember we were talking about, and they were, I think I was talking to my mom or you, I don't know, but recently, a lot of those Chinese men were of fighting age.
Exactly.
They were not coming in with women. They were not coming in with children. They were coming in by the thousands from China, and they're here now.
Exactly.
And remember, for a long time, people were saying sleeper cells. So we got to be careful with that. Number two, I don't know if y'all heard about this, but did you see in the news where the Chinese scientists, they smuggled in some toxic chemicals into the country?
Yep, I saw that.
And not only they have some that can cause COVID, HIV, all kind of STDs and shit, because Americans, we just some feel good people. And even though all this shit is going on, you have a lot of people that still partying. They worrying about this stupid ass court case. They going to these concerts and football games and what all this shit. They just acting like nothing is happening. And these people are here. We got sleeper cells. They are fighting AIDS. They smuggling in toxic funguses in the country. And it says, the pathogens, I'm not going to say the name because it's long. Y'all can look it up. It can attack wheat, barley, maize, and rice. So they are going to probably attack the food system.
Exactly.
Especially up in the bread basket. And where was this? University of Michigan. University of Michigan, so close to America's bread basket where they grow a lot of rice and corn and wheat. This shit is not a coincidence.
Nope, it's not. So
we better start really stacking up and getting some shit put aside just in case.
Exactly.
Because America thinks she's smart. What to say? I plan, you plan.
Exactly.
But Allah?
But Allah plans. And He is the best of planners.
Best of planners.
Yep. You better store up because there are definitely enemies here and they plan to do it to America. Ain't no ifs, ands, and buts about it. They plan to do it to America because they have not forgotten what America has done to them. Sober up, get ready. This is the time of battle. All right, family. We love y'all. We thank y'all for coming. And me and Doc will be back on Saturday. We'll be doing a program on Saturday. And then Sunday I will be back. And we will be, I'll be teaching on how the enemy make you a hypocrite to your own salvation. That will be on Sunday. So we thank you all for coming out and joining and staying with us and sharing your love. As we always say, you kill the nigga in you, I'm going to kill the nigga in me, and our God will reign supreme. We are Black First, today, tomorrow, and forever. Love you, family. Peace and blessings. Assalamu alaikum. Shalom.
You better get the message and get it straight. You're going to need some bridge work. It's simple as that. Because we're living in judgment. We're living in implementation.